Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time, so long time no see. How are you guys doing? I know 2020 has been a really challenging year for just about everybody. I don't think there's anybody that's been exempt from the craziness. If you're curious how I feel about like the presidency or coronavirus, hop on over to my Instagram because that is where I have been pretty honest. This video, however, is not about that. This video is about my life, my update. Well, he's 2.5 now. So I'm gonna share with you guys how we're doing. When my son turned 2, I weaned him. So I breastfed him until he was 2, and then about a month or 2 after that, I potty trained him. And he did so good with the potty training. If you guys want me to do a potty training like how-to video, I'd be happy to do that because I worked in the childcare department for many years, over 15 years, and potty trained lots of kids. And so I probably have some good tips on how to handle that. Just a short quick tip is we did the 3-day potty training method. So you guys can look that up and kind of see how that works. Another like big thing I want to share in this video is how many of you have written to me and have said that you went to the same doctor I went to after watching my videos and you are now pregnant. So many people have had babies since then. I am just like so happy for you guys. I'm so proud that you didn't give up. I know how hard infertility is and you didn't let that stop you, and that is absolutely amazing. So kudos to you. And then for those of you who've been asking like, okay, when's the next baby gonna come? We would like to get past all of the COVID craziness before entering into that stage. We would love for that to be next year. But as we all know, it's been very hard to predict what's going to happen in this world right now. So yes, we hope to have another baby, and yes, we hope it's soon. I'm not, getting younger. None of us are. But we do have a frozen baby sickle. We have a frozen embryo. So we are going to hopefully be transferring that next year. That's the goal. As far as my husband and I go, we are doing amazing. We are enjoying spending extra time together when he's got slower work days, and then when he's got busier work days. It's hard because now my son really cries for him when he leaves. I want daddy, I want daddy. My husband is really active, really participates in everything that he possibly can as a father. So we feel the loss when he's not here. But at the same time, we're really grateful that he has work and that he's got a business that's still thriving throughout everything that's gone on, because so many businesses have been permanently shut down and so many people have been affected and so many people's income has been affected. And that's not to say his hasn't. His has been affected as well. There's been ebbs and flows, most definitely. But it's been really hard on my son because my son doesn't understand exactly why some days you get to be here more and other days you don't rock me to bed. That's been a big challenge for my son, and of course it hurts my husband's heart when he sees our son crying and saying please don't go. And because my son can't speak so well, he'll just speak full paragraphs like, no daddy, please don't go to work, you stay here with me and we read books, and after nap then maybe we go to work and I'll go with you. And he'll just try to negotiate with him, and it's really hard because sometimes the answer is just no, you don't get to go to work with me, or you can't. On the flip side, when we do get to go to work with daddy, that's pretty cool. My son loves animals, and my husband has had his own pet care business for like over 20 years. So that's pretty cool. Another pretty cool thing is my husband and I are celebrating our 10-year wedding anniversary. Some of you guys probably watched our show, My Fair Wedding with David Tutera. I was the mini truck bride, for those of you who want to check it out. And we have been actually together 17 years as of March. So been a long journey, but I'm still very much in love with him, and I did a little video on how I think we've made that work and how we've been successful in our marriage. So check that out if that's something you're interested in, because I think that's important. I didn't want to have a broken family. I came from a broken family and I didn't want to have that cycle repeated. So I feel proud of that. Another thing that I feel really proud of is that I have made my health a really big priority. Growing up, I didn't see healthy examples. I really didn't. I had one parent that made themselves throw up after they ate. I had another parent who would overindulge and eat all of the time. Okay, not all the time, but excessively, and was overweight a lot of the time. I had relatives who had stomach surgeries, like to staple their stomachs. I had relatives who were anorexic. Like I mentioned, I had a parent who was bulimic. So there was a lot of health issues, and I just didn't want to continue that cycle. I wanted my son to see what healthy looks like, and that doesn't mean you just eat salads every day, and that doesn't mean that you never get to have ice cream, or in his case, because he doesn't do dairy really, it's oat milk ice cream or almond milk ice cream, which by the way is so dang good. If you haven't tried it, OMG, so good. So I've been making that a priority, and I recently lost close to 20 pounds. And now I'm actually gaining, but I'm gaining muscle. I'm working on, really bulking up a bit. I want to be like a buff mom. So I'm doing a lot of that. And if you guys want to follow me and see kind of what kind of foods we eat and that, you can check me out at Michelle Motivation on Instagram. It's fun to share that there as well, because a lot of people are like, I need ideas. I don't know what to feed my kid. And so it's fun. I am grateful that I do not really have a picky eater. I just decided early on that we weren't going to go that route. I know that sounds bad because some people are like, it's not like you choose to have a picky eater, you don't choose. But I think it really does help that we did something, you guys can check it out, where I introduced 100 foods to my son by the time he was 1. And they were all different types of flavors and so forth. So his palate really got to taste sour and sweet and crunchy and salty and smooth and, all different flavors, all different textures. So that helped him with his, eating his variety. People are always really impressed. They're like, oh my gosh, is he gonna eat that? Really? And I'm like, yeah, he's going to eat salmon, and he's going to eat Brussels sprouts, and he loves broccoli, and spinach is probably one of his favorite things to eat. And actually he does like to drink kombucha, and he eats sauerkraut for the good bacteria. So he's never gotten a drive-through meal from like a fast food place because we choose not to eat that way. But I'm proud that that's another cycle that I broke. I just broke the cycle. I stopped the cycle. So many generational curses have stopped with my husband and I, and my son will never ever be treated the way we were treated growing up. My son will never be harmed physically by his own parents. He will never be verbally abused by his parents. If you are a parent, then it is your duty to do your best for your child. And if you are trying to become a parent, then now's a really good time to make sure you got yourself straightened out. And if that means you need to read some self-help books, I did. If that means you need to go to therapy, I did. Do this for your child, because you don't want them to go through the things that really hurt you and that really affected you. And while I'm grateful that I went through the things I went through because it made me who I am today, and I'm very proud of this person that you see before you, I also know that a lot of the things that I went through were avoidable, and my son doesn't need to go through things that are avoidable. We can't, keep them in a bubble, unfortunately. We won't always have this rainbow and unicorns and butterflies. Of course we won't. Matter of fact, that would be boring. The spice of life is the variety that we experience, but it's also important that we are their safe place. It's important that our home is their sanctuary, and that when the world is hard, which it is right now, and that when crazy people are everywhere, which they are, they can go somewhere and fall softly in the arms of you and your spouse, your partner, whatever the case is. You should not be the person that they fear. You should not be the crazy person. You should not be the person that they're trying to avoid. They shouldn't have to go somewhere else to reach their sanctuary. And I feel as parents, it's our job to give that to them. And I also want to say that to all of you who said, oh, Michelle, wait till you become a mom. You'll see your house will always be a mess. Nope. You're going to gain a bunch of weight permanently because it's just hard to take care of yourself. Opposite, actually. I'm thinner now than I'm healthier now than I've been my whole life as a mom. And for those of you who, kind of said you don't need to have your own hobbies or make yourself a priority because you have a kid now, wrong. Your child needs to see the importance of self-care, and they learn that through you. and they learn not to do that if you don't do that. It's not selfish to take care of yourself, mamas. You can take so much better care of the people around you if you take care of yourself first. I'm just curious how you guys feel. I'm in California and they are starting another lockdown soon. Do you feel safer with a lockdown coming? Do you think it's more helpful or do you think it's more hurtful? And my second question is, how do you feel about masks? Do you think they're more helpful or do you think they're more hurtful? Comment below, tell me what your thoughts are. Another update is kind of a non-update, and that is that my son is still rear-facing even though he meets the height and weight and age standards to be reversed. My husband and I flipped him forward, and a lot of people do when they have like a 2-year-old. They flip their kids forward. And no joke, like 20 minutes after we flipped him forward, I was like, I don't feel good about this. Like, I kind of feel like regretful. So I did some research, and you guys, if you have a toddler, just research it. It was a trip, and the videos that I found, the statistics of what happens when you have your child forward facing in a car accident. Okay, I'll show you. Really scary. So I highly recommend that you do your own research on this. But okay, just 1 minute. But I highly recommend keeping your child rear facing. The holidays are stressful, and I'm not talking stress like, oh, I don't know what to buy this person, or I don't know what to wear. I'm talking about stress because you feel stressed about the people you're going to be around, or stressed because you feel anxiety about the loneliness that maybe you feel. I know a lot of people like to portray things a certain way on social media, and I want to remind everyone that social media tends to be a highlight reel. So what you're seeing is what they want you to see. And the truth is, every family has problems, and everyone has issues. And so if you start to feel sad or depressed or lonely, just know you're not alone. There are many people who are feeling exactly the same way you are too. And one way that I personally kind of go about Thanksgiving and Christmas is I just make sure that I set some healthy boundaries for myself and for my family. So if there's certain people you don't want to be around, don't, or limit the time that you're around them. Look how pretty the leaves are. Fall is here. I'm walking up a hill, so I'm starting to breathe heavy. This video is getting more challenging. But anyways, happy holidays to you guys. Remember that no matter what you're going through, it's temporary. No matter what you're feeling, you're not alone. And I know for me, when I was going through the trying to conceive infertility stage, it was especially hard because you see little kids opening up Christmas presents. You see little kids taking pictures with Santa. You see little kids, you see families, you're around kids, and you want yours. And so take some time, step out for a few minutes if you need to. It's gonna be okay. I'm sending you guys love, thinking about you, and reach out to me if you need to vent. I'm a good listener. Just wanted to show you guys the view from up here. It's really pretty. The sunset. Not everything in 2020 is bad, right? I wanted to share a quote that I read the other day. I want to share it with you guys. The quote said, "This is not the year to get everything that you want. This is the year to be grateful and want everything you have." Isn't that like powerful? I thought it was pretty powerful, because I know all of us in 2020 have been left without. We had to cancel my son's birthday party, which was in May, and here we are, and we're still canceling, and things are still getting canceled and canceled. So there's been a lot of losses, which makes you really need to focus on the gains, what you've gained throughout all this. My son loves Christmas and Halloween. Those are, I think, his two favorite, which is funny because his two favorite holidays are also my two favorite holidays and my husband's two favorite holidays. We also love 4th of July. But one of my favorite things that my son does is we were at a really cool place the other day and they had snow, fake snow, but it was like falling from the sky. It was just bubbles. And it looked like snow. And he went over and he grabbed my grandma, so his great grandma. She's the one who made those super cute Christmas beanies that she makes every year. This year I think they were the best. We got so many compliments on them because they lit up with all the Christmas lights. Sorry, it's loud all of a sudden. But what I love is that he will grab her arm and he'll say, "Come on, Mama, let me show you this. Wow, look at that." Or he'll grab his daddy and say, "Daddy, come on, you guys see, look. Wow, cool." And he just gets so excited, but he doesn't want to just enjoy it. He wants to like enjoy it with you. And I love that about him. He wants to encourage other people to participate. And I just think that's such a sweet quality. Right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what questions you have. And if you want to hear my thoughts and opinions on the other topics that I mentioned, talk to you later. Bye.